Hey everyone, it's March 15th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with serial killer Morris Solomon Jr., known as the Sacramento Slayer, who committed at least 6 murders in 1985 and 86, and that is him right up there. Solomon was born in Georgia in 1944 and was raised by his abusive grandmother, having very little contact with his parents throughout his childhood. She would often force him to stand nude on a stool while she whipped him with electrical cords for infractions as minor as incorrectly pronouncing a word. If he cried while being beaten, she would just hit him even harder, and often even drew blood with her whippings. When he was 13, he reunited with his parents after his grandmother moved to the Sacramento area, and as a teen, he witnessed their abuse towards one another, with frequent fistfights and sexual assaults carried out in front of him. His abuse didn't stop, it was just now carried out by both his mother and grandmother. After graduating high school, he worked numerous jobs, including as a carpenter and bus driver, before joining the Army, serving in Vietnam, and rising to the rank of sergeant. He briefly lived in San Francisco after his service, where he got married and had a daughter, but the relationship didn't last. Solomon returned to the Sacramento area after his marriage ended, finding work as a forklift operator at San Quentin Prison. But in 1977, he was convicted of sexually assaulting a woman while on the job, being sent to a state mental hospital for violent offenders. After his release a few years later, he took work as a handyman, often exchanging his labor for room and board. In 1986, Solomon reported finding the corpse of a prostitute to police, ostensibly so as to appear innocent of having any involvement in her murder. She'd been bound and was wrapped in bedding. Over the next 2 years, 3 more bodies were found, all with a similar MO of being bound and wrapped in bed sheets, so the police believed they were dealing with one killer. Solomon was brought in for questioning after a few of the bodies were discovered, but a lack of hard evidence kept the authorities from making an arrest. After getting permission to search his home, a body was found buried in the yard, and then 2 more bodies were discovered as previous residents. Once police realized that Solomon had worked as a handyman at every location where a body was found, he was tried and convicted of 6 murders, though it's strongly suspected that he killed a 7th victim as well. Sacramento actually had 2 serial killers active at the same time, with his crimes overlapping those of Dorothea Puente, who I featured in a video on January 9th. You can scroll down to watch that. Solomon currently sits on death row in San Quentin, where he once worked, and will likely remain there for the rest of his days. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Morris Solomon Jr. I say, happy birthday, you bastard.